We will start by cutting half of an onion into strips. Take the time to separate the onion now. And cut half of a red bell pepper and half of a green bell pepper into strips. Then cut some carrots into thin strips. Do your best to cut the carrot strips thinner than the bell pepper strips. Prepare some bean sprouts by washing them and draining them thoroughly. We will also need 2 large eggs, lightly beaten. For choice of meat in this dish, you can use beef, pork, chicken, or ham. Traditionally, char siu or Cantonese barbecue pork is used in this dish. If you like to know how to make char siu, you can watch my char siu video. And next, we will prepare some shrimp by peeling the shell and the tail. Pat them dry with a clean towel. Then season them with a little bit of salt and sugar, and some white pepper powder and cornstarch. Mix them well and add a touch of sesame oil. You don't have to marinate the shrimp for long. You can prepare them just before you start to cook. We will also need some curry powder. Curry powder is a key ingredient in this dish. And also adding extra turmeric powder for better color. Next, let's take a look at the rice noodle for this dish. This dish calls for thin rice noodle. You will sometimes find them as rice vermicelli. It's important to pay attention to the ingredient. I like to use rice noodle that has a little bit of cornstarch or wheat starch in it. This makes the rice noodle more elastic so that it doesn't break apart easily during stir fry. Prepare a pot of boiling water, add some salt to it, and add the rice noodle. Then turn off the heat and let it soak for about 10 minutes. If the rice noodle you have doesn't have any cornstarch in it, you cannot soak it for as long as I did. Check the noodle every 1 to 2 minutes. When you feel the noodle is soft enough, remove them from the hot water. Add some oil to prevent the rice noodle from sticking. If you cannot find the thin rice noodle, you can use angel hair pasta instead. Okay, now the preparation is done. Let's start cooking. Add a little bit of oil to a hot pan and pan fry the eggs we have prepared earlier. Just pan fry the eggs like you normally would. Divide the eggs into smaller pieces. And pan fry them until they are golden on both sides. Then remove them from the pan. Add a touch of oil if needed, and we can pan fry the shrimp. Shrimp cooks quickly, so as soon as one side starts to change color, flip them over and cook them on the other side. When the shrimp is about 50% cooked, add the char siu to the pan. Char siu is already fully cooked, so just continue to stir fry until the shrimp is cooked through. Then remove everything from the pan. Now stir fry the bell pepper and the carrot. This step is very straightforward. Just stir fry them until they lose their raw taste, but still crunchy. I'm going to remove them from the pan before I stir fry the onion and bean sprouts. Just give the onion and bean sprout a few quick toss in the hot pan, then remove them from the pan. We want them to stay crunchy. Now we will stir fry the rice noodle. We need to add a bit more oil to the pan. We need this oil to briefly fry the curry powder and the turmeric powder. Frying the curry powder releases the flavor and it makes a huge difference. Heat on medium to medium-low and stir the curry and turmeric powder into the oil. Fry it briefly, then add the rice noodle to the curry oil. Don't overcook the curry powder because it could turn bitter. Now mix the rice noodle with the curry. Just continue to toss and stir until the rice noodle is even in color. And turn up the heat to medium-high and stir fry the noodle. Add the soy sauce and dark soy sauce. Continue to stir fry until the soy sauce is mixed evenly. And add the eggs, char siu and shrimp back to the pan. Keep stir frying to mix these ingredients with the rice noodle. We want the rice noodles to pick up the flavor from the meat, shrimp and egg. Then add all the vegetable back to the pan. At this point, the pan should be quite hot. You can turn off the heat while you are mixing the vegetable into the rice noodle. Quickly mix everything together and we are done. This is another tasty and nutritious dish you can make for your family. I hope you like this video today. If you find this video useful, please share it with your friends and family. Let me know how you like this dish in the comments. In some of the previous videos,